in this verse, the particular word that they eternally accepted, and not the word accepted for the occasions. The idea is that the Lord does not create deficient things. He eternally has such a form, and the appearance and disappearance of such an incarnation serve a particular purpose. In Leviticus 7:24-25, the Lord said, "They persons think that I have no form, that I am formless, but at present I have accepted a form to serve a purpose, and now I am manifest." But such speculators are factually without shock intelligence. Though they may be good scholars of religion, they are practically ignorant of my inconceivable energy and my eternal forms of personality. The reason is that I reserve the power of not being exposed to the non-believers by my mystic purpose. The less intelligent fools are therefore unaware of their eternal form, which is never to be vanquished and unborn. In the book of Quran, it is said, "Those who are envious and always angry at the Lord are unfit to know the actual and eternal form of the Lord." In the Bhagavatam, it is also, it is said, that the Lord appeared like a thunderbolt to those who were wrestlers. Shishupal, at the time of being killed by the Lord, could not see him as Krishna, being dazzled by the glare of the thunder. Therefore, the temporary manifestation of the Lord as a thunderbolt for wrestlers appointed by Kamsa, the glaring appearance of the Lord before Shishupal, was relinquished by the Lord. But the Lord, as a magician, is eternally existing and has never vanquished in any circumstance. Such forms are temporarily shown to the Asuras only. And when such exhibitions are withdrawn, and the Asuras think that the Lord is no more existent, just as the foolish audience thinks that the magician can be burned to ashes or cut to pieces. The conclusion is the Lord has an infinite body, and therefore he is never to be killed or changed by his passing. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pujamini Him Shri Shastri Paschatya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaurav Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The Supreme Lord relinquished the body by which he manifested to diminish the burden of the earth. Just like a magician, he relinquishes one body to accept different forms, like a fish incarnation. So, here, in the chapter, the Pandavas entire time. So, Krishna was left this planet, and the Pandavas are on a journey specifically. Has come to us. It's not to relay the news. Yudhishthira, being such an expert in all regards, was an eternal associated with the Lord. He
so many peculiarities in nature, in different circumstances. This is the expertise of the Yudhishthira Maharaj, that he can decipher these significant these events and understand what it is. And of course, we saw a couple of verses prior that he said, "That's time for me to go here." So, one very important point here is the devotee knows that this material world is not a place to create a long-term residence. It is here to do our job. And what is our job? To remove our illusion. Who am I and who is Krishna? And what is my relationship? That illusion has to be removed. So, Yudhishthira Maharaj obviously came as an eternal associate with the purpose of serving in Krishna's mission. He would never under such an illusion decide. So here in this verse, we're seeing that the Supreme Lord relinquished his body. And this is a point of great confusion, and it is the fundamental flaw in the conditioned soul's logic. That we learn very early on in our spiritual journey that we are not this body. We are spirit soul. But here we see Krishna is his body. Prabhupada writes, but his body is not different from him. So this is complete opposite of us. So when we observe, the disappearance of Krishna, I remember we were talking about this and how Krishna was shot in the toe, right? And thus he left this world. No. He didn't leave because he was shot in the toe. The arrow. That's not why he left. Why Krishna left? Yeah, but why he disappeared? Because he wanted to. Simple. Why he appeared? He wanted to appear. Any of us gets to pick our birthday? I would like to be born on April 16th. Anybody gets to pick? Krishna? Krishna picks. I'll appear now. Anybody gets to pick? I would like to appear in this place. Krishna says, yes, I'll appear here in the prison house. Anybody gets to pick their parents? So for us, our appearance is forced by nature. Material nature. It says here, this time, this form, everything is ordained. But Krishna, his appearance is according to his will. So, we have to immediately understand that our appearance and Krishna's appearance are not the same. But the nature of the human is that we see things through our lens. Right? We see things through our lens. So, that creates a flaw when I see things. Because I had this circumstance. Krishna
Krishna must have the same. And that is why we must understand things through Shastra, through Guru and Sadhana. Then we can understand that Krishna is his body. There's no difference between his body and Krishna. That they are one. Again, our body, we are not. That we spend so much time trying to understand. But we also have to understand the other side of it. Because the implications are severe or significant. So if Krishna is his body, then his body is Satchitananda. It means that there is no material machinery in his body. He has no, esophagus and stomach and bladder and liver and kidney and blood and veins and muscle. No, he doesn't have any machine. That's all matter. But when we see the form of Krishna, we observe, or we like to think like this. But that is not the case. Just like when during Damodara Leela, Krishna is drinking milk from his mother. So there's a transcendental competition occurring. That Mother Yashoda is giving so much love to Krishna in the form of her milk that it is flowing nonstop. And Krishna is drinking and drinking and drinking. But you would think, well, how much a baby can drink? His stomach is this big. So maybe half a liter. But Krishna doesn't have a stomach. He has no capacity, no boundaries. So the milk on the stove is saying, wait a minute, Krishna will never stop drinking Mother Yashoda. So then, we will never have the chance to serve the Lord. Thus is no circumstance. So the point is that in all these circumstances, when Krishna was shot in the toe, some blood came. But the blood was not caused by the arrow. The blood was caused by Krishna's presentation. And that's why, not that's why, but we have a factual understanding. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that the soul cannot be cut by any weapon. Right? Cannot be cut by any weapon. And soul is Satchitananda. And where the soul comes from? Krishna. Then my eternal fragmental part. So if the soul cannot be cut by weapon, then by definition, then Krishna's body cannot be cut by weapon. How it can be cut by weapon? Because his body is Satchitananda. Understand? So when Krishna shows even Bhishma Pita, the semblance of blood from the arrows, it is not being caused by the weapon. Because soul cannot be cut by weapon. And of course, super soul, the source of our soul, cannot be cut by weapon. Because matter cannot touch. So Krishna performs these different pastimes for various purposes. Because his control is absolute. Nothing can be forced upon him. Everything is absolute. So, this very important point is that Krishna relinquished his body when he chose it. Not by some other external factor. And his forms, Srila Prabhupada writes here, are eternally present. Like he gave the example of in the verse, Matsyavatara.
So it is called Nityalingam. We say, no, Matsya Avatar is done. Matsya Avatar is done in this universe. But in some universe, it is the time for Matsya to appear. And in some universe, it is a time that Krishna is looking over them. And in some universe, Lord Ram is vanquishing Ravana. Because there are unlimited numbers of universes. And in one of those universes, according to the schedule, who creates the schedule? Krishna. It is time for him to appear. So these appearances, these forms of the Lord are eternal. Because they're always present. Not always present within wherever we are, but present in the totality of creation. So somewhere, these passages happen. So these forms of the Lord are not temporary, nor are they, it is Krishna limited. You know, we may wear one set of clothes, and then later change to another set of clothes, and then to another set. But we don't simultaneously show ourselves in 5 different sets of clothes. Right? Just trying to use another example. That is our very, very limited. But Krishna can present himself in unlimited forms. And Prabhupada uses this word as his plenary expansions. The meaning of plenary is not a word we use, but Srila Prabhupada used it very precisely. Plenary comes from the Latin word plenus, which means complete. So the appearance of Matsya is a completely potent form of the Lord, but is only showing a certain feature, set of features, for the purpose of appearance. But we should not mistake that Matsya Avatar, because it's in the fish, is some lesser form, appearance of the Lord. It is complete, but it is only demonstrating a certain. So, this like Prabhupada uses the word, plenary expansion. And we see this in Brahma Samhita. I take the example of the candles. Right? Many candles are lit. They all burn with the same radiance, lumens, powerful. But while they're all the same, there's still one source candle that was a source of light for all the others. The source is Krishna. But his expansions are also. So, when we think in this light, it's so extremely foolish to consider how Krishna can be formless. Not only is he not formless, his form is so